of that. But man, we gotta continue to strategize, but at the same time, I can't stop. Like there's too many people depending on me to do certain things. I can't sit back and just and look. I have to do.
Ryan, I think that's a good point. I think I can relate where I'm learning um, to actually take a different approach because sometimes I realize that I'm moving, but I'm not getting anywhere, right? Like you're in motion, I guess, right? I'm in motion, but I'm not moving. So I've been trying to see like how can I take these little, I guess going back to the time management, like strategically implementing these little times where I'm actually evaluating what I'm doing and noticing, am I just in motion or am I actually, covering some type of distance? And that even if it's a small step, right? It doesn't even matter, but am I getting that done?
When you're driving, do you make course corrections by just yanking the wheel and turning sideways and stopping on the side of the road and saying, "Am I going in the right direction?" No,
No.
no, you make small little corrections as you're driving. That's the way that I look at it. And really, like for me, I whether it's my business or my health, I just have to do it. I have to go out, I have to walk, I have to go out and exercise. I have to do it. I have to stop thinking about it and having my mind tell me no, and
Mhm.
stop listening to all the stupid things that are happening up here that are resonating in my head that are like, you can't do it. And then some book that's trying to tell me what to do. I'm just going to do it. Stop, get out of my own way. Like that's sorry. I love the book club stuff, but a lot of times we get stuck in reading the book instead of implementing the book.
That that is very true. I just want to say something. As someone in sales, I equate a lot of times slowing down to process as me moving slower and me not accomplishing something. I've really got to work on that because it's so easy to say, man, I'm moving forward, I'm burning rubber, so I must be doing something, versus what this book is trying to have us doing, which is slowing down can speed up. And I'm really working on that because that's just not my nature. My nature is just to go, 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 go. But my wife often tells me just because I'm moving doesn't mean I'm accomplishing something. So I hear that, man. I hear that. I
How do
really
you
hear.
find that balance, right? With the going, like Ryan's saying, but like you're saying too, I get stuck in the analysis paralysis at times. How do you balance? What's a
There's no
good tip
balance.
for it?
There's no balance in life. I'm sorry. You've got to constantly balance. That's what your life is about. Like my my kids are out there right now. I have took two to school. I have two at the house today. It means that I have to still balance and be a dad, but it also means that I got to work my ass off to pay the damn bills. So I'll figure out the balance part. That's just life. we got to get we got to get in the mindset that it's getting past that and actually doing everything that you want to accomplish, because so much about balance is it's like a you've seen the old grandfather clocks that the pendulum swings.
Yeah.
Balance is never going to be perfectly in the middle, then your clock is stopped.
Mm,
That's the way I look at it.
I like
Sorry,
that.
that
i'm
Yeah.
that
I'm a little bit more aggressive. I'm a high D. I apologize, but that's who I am.
no that
Don't
that 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 is
apologize.
that is so true. Don't apologize for that. I had someone explain it to me this way. They said, if you try to jump over a fence and you end up on top of the fence and you're balancing on the fence, guess what? You haven't jumped over the fence because you're on the fence. So you're balancing. You haven't moved forward. Neither have you moved backwards. You are in absolute stasis. I hear
Mm,
that, man. I hear
I
that.
I would rather ask ask for forgiveness, um and do it. And I apologize for screwing that up. I own it and move forward. Then waiting for permission.
So
Get it
true. Very
and
well said.
give yourself the permission to do it. Just go and do it. Because the only thing holding you back is you.
Well
Sorry to
said.
sorry to dominate this.
No, that was excellent, man. I can't speak to. We
I
can't say it any
know.
better than that. That was excellently said. Well done.
Okay,
And
Julisa's
who's
dying
next?
to come in and talk. Julisa's dying to come in and talk. I can see her forming words.
Okay, well, actually, what can I say? My entire life, I've been working in sales, and I really love this book, and especially this chapter in particular, because the strategies are going deep and make you think a lot. And the fact that I stopped with my husband and read it again and again because it's helping him also in his business. And the 12-point checklist for strategies, education based on marketing, that I think that's my favorite part so far. I never sat down and realized how I can improve in detail. So that's that's my first thing that I want to share with you, and I feel like honored to be in this group. Actually, I'm learning a lot.
Love having you here, Julissa, and I love that you spoke up too. And client, you said the word earlier. Julissa just said sales, and you said the word earlier, being in sales. And I hope that you're getting from this that it's moving from sales into business owner, entrepreneur, strategist. That's what keeps most realtors in sales mode and getting some deals, the next deal, but it doesn't put them in a mode of how do I build something that's way beyond me that becomes my company. So I heard that word. I wanted to share that with your client. And then I heard Julissa come in with that word and say, no, I'm liking this strategy stuff. This is really where it comes down to. Stop just being interested in the sale and let's move to business owner, strategist, right? And that's going to be the big key for a lot of us.
So dare I say that I need to stop saying that I'm in sales?
Yeah.
Dare I say that I need to stop saying that I'm a salesman? Dare I say that I need to stop saying that I sell homes? Oh, hey Don, man, you opened up a big bag there, boss. That's a big, as someone said before, I've been in sales for 14 years. Have I? Maybe that's the problem. Oh, come on now. Wow. Wow. Hey, Russ, you better be recording this, man. You better be recording this, Russ. If you're not, I'm going to get you.
He's recording it. It's all good. You got this. You captured it.
What would it be if you leveraged your business to be able to actually enjoy a vacation?
Ha.
Like, to me, that's what I'm wanting to do. I want to make sure that my family's taken care of, the people that I work with are taken care of, and they can go on vacation. I can go on vacation, and they know that their business will not drop off. And the only way to do that is through strategizing and moving forward and not stopping. Like, just continually moving forward. Like, I know I got to get my fat ass out there and work off some weight. And I can't just say I'm going to plan it out every day and not do it. I have to go out and actually put in the miles. I actually have to eat right. I'm going to do it. Okay, when is that going to happen? It's only when you decide to take action. Because it's great to learn, but implementation is the difference, is what I'm taking from all of this.
That's why we're taking so long on this book, right? We just want to move into implementation, learn, implement, learn, strategize, implement, learn, strategize, implement. That's what this whole thing is about.
But he said something critical that we passed over. He said, I have to make a decision. See, I think that we've passed over that decision point and we're saying, okay, now I got to implement. But have we made a decision to implement? Because nothing happens without a decision. I was listening to a pastor once and he said, the only thing that God can't change is your mind.
How long does does a
I'm sorry, go ahead.
decision take? How long should a decision take?
In my head, it depends on the person. Some people make a decision, a lifelong decision, in seconds that changes their entire trajectory. And other people might take a month to make that decision, but once it's made, it doesn't, there's not one answer to that in my head. But once that decision is made, it should be set in stone, because once it's set in stone, that means you have set your face towards where you're going and there's absolutely no turning back. And that's a key question for myself, because if I'm not where I want to be, have I really made that decision?
Who's
That's
my
a
high
fearful
C's in the room?
question.
Who's the high C's in the room?
We're
How long
D's,
does it take
boss.
to make a decision? High C's.
You know what? I realize I am testing high C on this because I feel like there's so much I want to understand better. And when I listened to you, Ryan, I was like, shoot, I know I want to learn it, but I've just got to get out of my own way and just do. So focusing on what your actions are, that's what I'm going to work on. I'm going to do that myself.
Hey, Ryan.
Every decision doesn't have to be life altering. It just has to be a decision to move the needle. That's what I'm taking. Yes.
I just want to comment on the whole decision because I'm pretty decisive and I'm a great implementer. I think that there's a place where making decisions should be something that we don't do now, but something we postpone and look at moving forward. I recently had a conversation with Don where we were talking about me taking specific actions, and I said, you know what, I can climb Mount Everest, but I can't climb Mount Everest and K2. So that's a post implementation conversation once I've implemented what I've already decided to do. So I absolutely agree that making the decision is something that we should take on very, very, very concisely. We should get in, make that decision concisely, and then implement, and then implement. And then making the decision to move away from that decision, that's where I feel like we need to put some pause into it, unless we really see that we're on the wrong path.
You're always wanting to reevaluate. I see that and we put some systems to be able to check what your decisions are.
Check it.
But not every decision is a Mount Everest.
Yeah.
But that's what people, is it a Mount Everest to make a phone call if we're in real estate sales to a client? Is that a Mount Everest decision?
Yeah.
But how many times do agents get in their own way of not making the calls?
True. Good point.
That's what I'm saying. It doesn't have to be, I need to completely radicalize the lead generation strategies for my business today. It doesn't mean that I'm going to make a $2 million purchase of an investment property in an industrial section in Kansas City when I live in Colorado today. That's not what this is about. It's about little changes along the way to steer the ship where you want it to go. And that's what I was saying. It means
Hey, Ryan,
don't put the butter on my toast so I don't get even fatter. Like that. Don't eat the toast, don't eat the carb.
So Ryan, let me add one word to that might help some of the people in here. Sean Swarner, who's on the call with us right now, just said, "Did she really climb Mount Everest?" He has, by the way, he has. We have a Mount Everest climber on the call. But I changed the word, and I absolutely don't need to change the word. I want everybody to hear this. Decision sounds hard. Choice. You're making choices nonstop. Choice. I'm choosing this. I'm choosing that. And I. That's, Ryan, where you just make a choice. Go. Make a choice. Go. Make a choice. Go. Make a choice. Go. You're doing it all day long. Paper or plastic. I mean, I'm just saying. There's so many places where we have to make choices, and all we do is make the choice and go. And if it's the wrong choice, we make a different choice and go. And make a different choice and go. So it's not, life altering. It's not all. I mean, but the overall of choosing the right direction and continuing to choose for yourself, choose with you and your goals and your future and your family in mind, is going to lead you to the bigger picture. So it's constant choice moves you into a position of win. How many quarterbacks are on the field making decisions in the moment? It's the instantaneous decisions. Check out 1, 2, 3, boom, there's the pass. It's instant choices. That's what we're making.
So, hey, Don, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, Clint. I was just going to say that thinking back to the 6 items, right? Having the 6 most important things of the day, which in my world feels a little much, but looking at that, even if you could just choose to have one of those things be a specific needle mover, where you're like, the one thing I know always moves my needle is phone calls and conversations with people. Like, always, if I'm having a conversation with a human being, that's a needle mover. So if there's, one of those 6 things that you're like, yep, I know fine well, I'm going to go, I'm going to schedule Popeyes, or I'm going to, schedule a bunch of coffee dates, or I'm going to schedule, call 15 people that I know and love today. Like, what can you do on your 6 things that is a needle mover? Because everything else is tomorrow business. That's not today business.
That is a good point. One of the things that I was going to say is making a decision is making a decision. And the thing that happens is we have practiced decision making for many years in the wrong methods. We have been making, in many cases, the wrong decisions. We've been making decisions, and we've been making a whole heck of a lot of them. It's just been the wrong decisions. So
Like that.
what we need to try to do is, we're still making decisions, right? Let's make the right decision, so we're just changing the trajectory. We're not stopping the decision-making process, which is critical to us moving forward. We're just making different decisions.
So do you have thoughts on what decisions or how we could evaluate which ones are the right ones, Clint?
I guess, okay, so me being, I need another word for sales. But me being in sales, contrary to what I just said, in my world, if I'm making right decisions, I'm making money. If I'm making wrong decisions, I'm not. I guess that's the most simplest and most way with clarity that I can really say. I know that I've made right decisions if my mortgage is paid and I've made 2 or 3 closings this month. I made bad decisions if I haven't made any money this month. Does anyone disagree?
What about if
you're a lifestyle consultant?
I'm sorry, come again, sir?
You're a lifestyle consultant.
So each person within their okay, so if I'm in the medical field and I'm a surgeon and someone dies on my table, they're not sales, but they made the wrong decision possibly in regards to that. Each specific area of your life, when something happens successfully, yay, right decision. When something happens incorrectly, wrong decision. I don't know if that's oversimplified. Russ might think differently. Y'all tell me what you think.
So I'm curious if you can future cast by looking at your past. Right now, if you were to look back at the last 2 years, what's put monies in your wallet?
What put money in my wallet is going, obviously made more wrong decisions than right, because I'm not where I want to be. So for me, this is just like introspectively painful, but I'm not where I want to be.
Yeah.
So I didn't make the right decisions over the past 2 years.
So are you
just
tracking
made me think about
what's working and what's not working with numbers and being able
That's
to
why
be
I'm reading this book. That's where this book is coming in.
Also, are you living in the gap instead of the gain? Are you so focused on where you're not that you can't appreciate what you have grown into this year, client?
Ooh.
No, that's a good point. That's a booming point. I can say that I have. I can say that I have. The person that I am, and for anyone that has been in this room for the last year and a half, Celeste and Justin, we're different people. We're just, I mean, we are not, I am not the same person that I was 2 years ago when I first met Russ, or 2.5 years ago. I can only speak for myself.
You guys make me challenge and ask myself the question, what business am I in? Right? Because
Ooh.
if we're not in sales, so as you're talking, I start to think about what I love to do. I love to give, I love to help, I love to serve. So I am gonna say I'm in the education business. If I have to switch from sales, I'm not in the sales business. So I'm asking you guys, what business are you in?
Wow,
hey,
that's
hold on,
deep.
time out. I want to
That's
give
really
that as
deep.
an assignment tonight for you guys to
I was
come
just
back
about to say
tomorrow.
that. Yes.
Okay.
I was
So we're
just
not
about
going
to say the
solve it
same
now, but
thing, Don.
I want to get back to the material, and I want to hear from other people and not have a discussion. It's a mastermind. So what ideas we're throwing in there? And let's come back tomorrow. And he didn't say he's in the sales business. He said he's in sales. So be careful with that.
Okay.
I contend
Okay.
you're all in business, and that's where your heads, I think, needs to go.
Right.
Then what defines your business, that's a different story, and you're getting out of these pages. Okay, let's go. What else?
Don, I just want to point something out here from the book, page 42. The leader of the workshop has the most control over the experience and the outcome. And then a paragraph later, the meeting leader is responsible for keeping the meeting moving. So I just want to give you props, seeing where the workshop is going.
That's
and getting back on track. So I just wanted to give you that.
Thanks, Cedar. Appreciate it. All right, guys, what else you got? Thanks, Cedar.
I've got on page 66 at the very bottom, it says, well, your tactical competitors are grinding out content for the sake of content. You'll be ranking in sales, etc. And they're talking about this stadium presentation. And what it really meant to me is like, when we make a social media post, I'm looking back on the experience I've had with it, and I've done some, which I'm grateful for. But I think at least half of my stuff was content for the sake of content. It was not very strategic. It was just tactical. I'm going to make some content. And I'm really thinking or drilling down, how can I be more strategic so that I'm not scaring 90% of the audience away? I mean, it's like the same handful of people that look at it. I need to learn how to take the strategic part, apply it to that so that that audience grows instead of shrinks down to, probably what my avatar is. People that want to hear that message that I've had. I've got to wait for them.
There you go. Client says planet. I think that's a big deal. You guys probably haven't noticed, but both Alice and I have almost completely pulled out of social media because we were just operating with no plan, and we pulled back to do what? Put a plan in place, and you'll watch it soon. It's about to come out, and when it comes out, it's going to be ripping. But again, sometimes you step back to speed up. And I think, what I want to go back to Julissa, because Julissa on page 79 was talking about the 12-point checklist for strategic education. I think that's what she was talking about. She said 12 points, right? I think that's what she was talking about. Where are you guys in that? How are we operating in a marketing-based business, client, not a sales mentality? Sales about the next deal. Sales about closing. Sales about selling somebody. How do I not have to sell them? What's the opening paragraph of the whole freaking chapter? Here, I'm going to read it to you one more time. Bill Gates gets, or Steve Jobs got the credit. Marketing is the art of rendering the sales process obsolete.
The thing that stood out to me was education. All constantly educating, so that people can be aware of the bigger picture. and not kind of just hone in on that one thing or that one house, but what's the bigger picture? What can you get from the house? Like they were talking about the condo sale for professionals, how I forgot, I didn't write that down, but something about the stress or the quality of life that you can get if you live by the ocean or live by a waterfront or something.
Having a
Anybody
vacation.
remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Actually, I'll take that one step further. And I would say that when they talked about this idea, the value of having a vacation for top executives, they talked about all these negative aspects of, executives that don't take a vacation. They have a 200% chance, a greater chance of getting cancer, and all these other stats. They use that to then sell the concept that to alleviate that pain, they had a solution. And so I would take that one step further, because this is what was going on in my head, was, are we asking our clients, how can we do better? What could we give you that would make you feel better prepared, better educated, feel like you got a better value, educate you on how to own a home, however, whatever it is? Are we not in a place where we should be asking those questions so that we are truly selling? Hate to say it, but it is selling. We're selling the concept that our business owns, that we have that. Anybody?
I will
We're
go
marketing that.
with that, Celeste. Even a step before that was the global pain, where the quote was, why wealthy CEOs are at risk at heart disease, diabetes, and then they went into target pain, which targeted that exact pain of why that happens. And then the third part is the solution. What is your solution? So you're not just talking about data and all these problems. It's like the global pain to the target pain to what's your solution, and the ultimate is you're the logical choice because you're given that data and you're becoming the trusted advisor, which I thought was key. I know, Don, you wanted some global pain examples, and that's what I was kind of curious to hear of somebody else's, because I was having a hard time kind of thinking of a global pain for us agents or for attraction. And I don't know if you guys had any thoughts about that. I know we're at the hour already.
So let's bring that back tomorrow, Cesar, because that's an awesome place to go. I see Russ just popped back on. We're at the bottom of the hour, so we got to go.
Well, I came in for that simple